on a beach, which is any piece of water next to land. Generally has sand, but it's just not the ocean. It's very, very, very far from the ocean. I was topless, and there was news around, and there was a lady who didn't like me being topless, and she called the police, and this whole thing happened, and when the news reporters came around, they're just like, we're doing a news story about summertime, how's the weather treating you? And so we had a conversation like that for about 5 minutes where I was just like, man, you guys are so desperate for a story. You're doing one on summertime. This is so boring. And then they asked me 2 questions about my breasts, and then that was it. And that evening on the news, the whole segment was about me being topless. So that was cool and totally honest of them and not deceitful and very unexpected. And it made me really angry when the police officer came around because it's a legal thing now. There's a case in 1991 and basically since then, women are allowed to have their tops off, and I was sitting next to a guy who was wearing as much as I was, and I just didn't see the point. So I wrote an angry poem about it. It's called Going Topless. I have the best ever screenshot from that news clip where I have a ukulele and I'm staring up, and so there's like one breast on either side of the ukulele, and I'm looking up confused and angry. And the caption is Danielle Forget, going topless. All capital letters, it's so good. Alright, going topless. The normalization of what we call strange comes with perceptions that grow. My anticipation for a loving nation makes my impatience show when people bare their teeth instead of their hearts. And I know that I must change first, but when I take off my shirt to your glares and your words about how this hurts, the children who are standing behind you confused, man, I can't wrap my head around your views. They've seen your chest too. And in fact, I'll suggest that if anyone needs to see breasts, it should be the kids, those who haven't pulled lids over their eyes, those who haven't been reprogrammed by what the media supplies, those who don't understand how tits have become over-sexualized, those kids who don't believe that body parts are something to be cried over. Not yet, anyways. So if they can see more examples of shapes and sizes now and understand that the definition of normal hasn't actually been found, with their unbiased minds and their hearts of kind, maybe they can remind themselves in a few years not to let that imperfect body bring tears. Not to let that imperfect body bring tears because we're all made of the same, sinew for movement and bones to frame, blood and strength and hair to tame, tears and fears and endless shame. And we all have nipples, so how can you even begin to blame mine for tainting your child's mind? I'm showing the same number of limbs and the same amount of skin as the man sitting next to me, but that six-pack he's flexing, his strong pecs and small nipples are sexy. How am I being targeted for sexual indecency when I'm showing what he is, but with some extra fat and mammary? We have the same bodies, lady, but our minds differ. I believe if we're open, we have nothing to fear. If we let kids think for themselves, they'll search for the heart beneath the ribs, instead of pointing out the flaws on bodies of other kids. Instead of clinging to the arbitrary and hurtful rules that we let live, being naked and imperfect is the best gift I can give.